We got to watch on social media one of the best tirades I've ever seen from a Yankees fan. You said everything that was in my heart. I loved every second of it. There were more than a few F-bombs in that tirade. I wanted to follow up with you now that we're almost a month into the season and we see how the Yankees are playing. We see how Juan Soto is playing, and we see some interesting comments today in the paper from Juan Soto about not getting to hit in front of Aaron Judge anymore. You feel vindicated, Nick?
It's like a relationship that broke up and, they got divorced or something, and now you got like mixed emotions, It's like you left your wife or you left your lover and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have left. Maybe I shouldn't have went to the junkyards of Queens. I mean, who leaves the Yankees for the Mets? I mean, I know the Mets are good, but they're still the Mets. They'll always be the Mets. You got to understand something. And who leaves that? Who leaves your? You got the pinstripes. You're in the Bronx. You're hitting in a hitter's haven, and he just in his heart he didn't want to be a Yankee. It wasn't important enough because he was going to be a rich man either way.
Oh yeah, he couldn't feed. He couldn't send his kids to school on $730 million. He needed the $765. That's what the problem. I mean,
I'll tell you something. He looks a little puffy. He looks a little blown up. He looks a little, I don't know, like sad. Like, why are you so sad? You got your money. You're a hired mercenary. He's like a character out of a video game. You ever see those video games? He's like one of those guys. He's a hard guy to read. He does the fist pump and all that, but I haven't been seeing that as a Met yet, but it's early. But
it is early. But what? They're taking care of his family so much better than the Yankees did. That was his big criticism. The Yankees, they weren't good enough to his family in the stands. Oh, it's just not professional enough. But in Queens, they're going to have their own suite. You can have tickets to whatever you want. That's a family oriented franchise, and that's why he went. That's what's important, isn't it, Nick?
I mean, apparently so. Like I said, I don't know how to read the dude. He looked beautiful as a Yankee. He looked very happy, hugging and clapping with Judge left and right. But in the end, when he turned his cap around, I was like, this guy, he's gone. He's going. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked. But, it was a 1-year affair. It was a hot love affair. And, it was like a hot broad. And she boom, left me.
Hey, we all loved her, but now the Yankees got a few other, was it 110?
Yeah, the Yankees
3/8. They got Paul Goldschmidt, you got Max Fried. Those guys are playing well. I mean, we were just talking about Ben Rice out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Being the number one barrel rate, meaning he hits the ball more square than anyone in the league, including Judge. He's in the 100th percentile. That means he's number one. The Yankees are finding guys, man.
I mean, listen, one thing the Yankees, they haven't done in a long time has been real left-handed. So in that bandbox, you can, Joba knows a fly ball is a home run. So to right field, in that bandbox, I've always said lefty, lefty, lefty. The Yankees have always been lefty. Anytime they were successful in the 70s and 90s, they were always lefty. And then they became a righty team and they weren't as successful. So, keep bringing in those lefty. Even Grisham has been blasting balls out. Wells, Chisholm, he's got the right swing. So, and Goldie can go to right field. So we'll see. I mean, they need more pitching, but I'm concerned about that starting pitching staff. I'm very concerned, and I don't know. They're going to have to make a move somewhere. Max Fried was a nice signing. The kid, grew up right down the block from where I live. I'm not from California, but I know the kid's father, and he's a stud. But one guy is not going to do it. One guy's not going to do it. I mean, you're going to get Schmidt back. All right, let's see if Hill comes back. But, Rodon, I can't count on that dude. I can't count on him. I don't know what it is about him. He looks like a tough guy and then always finds a way to, cough it up. Like the other day. I mean, that's a game they should have won. The guy beat you once. Why are you throwing that junk to that guy? You know what I mean? That's Joba. If a guy's going to beat you once, I'm not going to let him beat me again, right?
No, I'm definitely not throwing the same sequence. And he's one too, Nick. I'll agree with you because there's an outing he goes out and you're like, all right, he figured it out. And then he goes out again and you're like, did he forget what the hell he was doing?
Yeah.
And it's just, he has the ability. We've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
The consistency is there, and I think that's the biggest key to this team going to the next level. And there's some young kids coming up. I think obviously getting Schmidt back is going to help.
Mm-hmm.
But other than like from the pitching side of it, how do you feel like we are defensively? And do you feel like there's some holes that we need to finish? Because everybody's obviously talked about the third base position and what we're
Right.
going to do. Do you think there's some holes that we could fill in, or do we need to bring in some young energy, or do we look to do it at the deadline, or what do you think the best route that we could do to maybe in whatever hole you think that we could fill?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to see what you have, and I think third base is an issue. They're fooling around now with Peraza and Cabrera. They're nice little players, but are they the answer? Are they? I mean, they're decent at third. Chisholm, obviously, is an exciting player. Hopefully, he doesn't pull a Glaber on us, and he's more solid there. I hope so. He wasn't bad at third, even though he wasn't a third baseman. Volpe's pretty solid. I mean, Goldie, we definitely improved because Rizzo, for whatever reason, lost it. And defensively, you got Judge back where he belongs and right. And then, what do you call in center is great, but he doesn't play every day as Grisham. But Bellinger's a nice player. I mean, he can play left, he can play center. Woody Cole's been catching a ball, the Martian. And that's kind of impressive that he's been catching a fly ball because he looked like Soto out there for a while. It was like, can he catch a fly ball?
It was rough.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm still like, don't know what this team is. I think they're an interesting team. The American League is a lot weaker, so they have that working for them. But I'm not sold on them yet as a team. I mean, they went to a World Series. Are they better than they were a year ago? I can't honestly say yes. Maybe in some areas they are, but overall, they don't have that Soto Judge. They don't have that sex appeal. Glaber's gone, even though Glaber was a good leadoff hitter. Even though, we gave him a hard time. He did find his niche leading off. So they don't really have a leadoff hitter. They need Stanton back. They definitely need his presence. But I think they're going to have to go out and get a big bat. You know what I mean? Go out. They're going to have to go out and spend if they want to win. I don't care. You can't like just chintz it and piece it together. I've seen that act before. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So if if Arenado's out there, somebody's out there that could help them win, they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to go out and get a big arm. And they might have to give up Spencer Jones. They might have to give up somebody to get to the promised land. Because, the Dodgers do it. The Mets ain't no weak team. I mean, the Padres look tough. The Cubs, look at the Cubs. They're up and coming. So the Yankees got to, they got to be realistic. Look at the team and go, yeah, there's some good pieces here, but it's not a finished product by any means.
All right, biggest elephant in the room in this baseball season so far. What are your thoughts to all the baseball fans complaining the Yankees are cheating with torpedo bats?
Torpedo what? Torpedo this, torpedo that. I mean, somebody made the bat. So you got to still hit the ball. Torpedo or no torpedo, you got to still hit the ball. You got to still square it up. So I think it's a lot of hogwash. I don't really buy into that whole thing because if it wasn't legal, they wouldn't be using it. So it's just that the Yankees did it and they hit a bunch of bombs. So all of a sudden everybody's like, I heard Stanton was using it last year and Stanton was unconscious. Stanton is incredible in the postseason. He's just a different animal in the postseason. You know what still bothers me? I hate to bring it up. It's a long time ago, but man, when I see Joba and I think about those flies, man, that's something that still bugs me to this day. That that game should have been stopped. That game, did you ever think of just like going in the dugout and saying the heck with this shit? I'm not doing this.
Not really, because they came out and they're like, all right, just spray, bug spray, whatever. And I was like, all right, it'll get rid of them. I didn't know what the hell a midge was. Like, I had no idea. I didn't know what was going on. And Joe comes out and he's like, you all right? And I was like, yeah, we'll spray some bug spray on it. We'll be fine. Well, come to find out, it just made it worse. And, Joe said in his book, that's his only regret as a manager is not taking me off the field. And I never really thought about coming off the field. But Derek, literally, I asked him like in the offseason or the beginning of next year. I was like, I'm a rookie. I've never pitched in the pen before. Like, why didn't you come? And he goes, when I got closer to the mound, they got worse. And I'm like, well, thanks for saving me. I'm over here trying to pitch through this. But yeah, it was something that you can't prepare for. That's for damn sure. And it was an interesting occurrence of what it was, and not something that obviously is planned. But yeah, it's something I'll never forget. That's for sure.